Justin Trudeau's lies and the failure of his refugee rush. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. Justin Trudeau and his Liberal cabinet ministers were quick and happy to pat themselves on the back. They were able to bring 25,000 Syrian refugees to Canada by their delayed deadline of the end of February. But what of those refugees now? Well, they were promised the sun, the moon, and the stars if they would just agree to partake in Justin Trudeau's refugee rush, the program that was really a vanity project to show how good and generous he and his Liberals were compared to those crusty Conservatives that said, move slower, do this in a methodical way, don't bring over so many people so fast. Well, those refugees are across the country now relying on food banks to survive. They are being denied language training, even though some of the private companies that offer language training are saying they'll donate spots to the government-assisted refugees. Yet another story about the food bank issue, this time from the Ottawa Citizen, which says that virtually all of the 1,100 Syrians that came to Ottawa are now relying on the food bank for monthly sustenance. The food bank already feeds about 50,000 or helps to feed about 50,000 people in the nation's capital, and this is adding to it, particularly in the neighborhoods where the refugees settled. This comes on top of another story that shows almost $500,000 being given by donations from corporate sponsors of the refugee program to settlement agencies. Why? Because the monthly assistance that the government-assisted refugees are getting doesn't cover their rent. It doesn't cover their basic supplies. So the charitable sector has stepped in to make sure that we don't end up with refugees with no job skills, no language skills, living in homeless shelters. Is this the better life that they were promised by Justin Trudeau and his cabinet? Is this the better life that Trudeau proudly proclaimed Canadians wanted to give them? Somehow I doubt it. But this is the reality for refugees across the country, not just here in Ottawa, but in Toronto, in Halifax, in Vancouver, in Montreal, in Calgary. This is what people are dealing with. It's the reality of the situation. Had this program moved much slower, it would have been better organized. There would have been a better opportunity to provide the language training, which leads to job opportunities. But it didn't happen. Everything had to go quick. Now events are backed up, including the lines at the food banks. Municipal officials tell me they are desperately trying to find a solution to a problem they know is coming. They're calling it month 13. See, the government-sponsored refugees are assisted by the federal government for the first 12 months. Then they're on their own, which means they'll be turning to welfare. They'll be turning to municipal social services, and that has municipal leaders across the country worried. Shame on Justin Trudeau and his refugee rush. I'm sure that Canadians will find a way to make sure people aren't starving, to make sure that families aren't homeless. But it didn't have to be this way if he just would have taken a pause.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.